Soccer Nation. Welcome to Soccer Queen USA. Today, Mohamed Salah turns 35 years old. And his birthday present? A World Cup opener against the team everyone says is going to bury him. Belgium walk into this game at Lumen Field as minus 170 favorites. Comfortable, confident, coming off a 5-0 demolition of Tunisia. On paper, this looks like a routine 3 points before the real tests begin. But here's the part nobody's talking about. Egypt has never won a World Cup match. Not once. 7 games, 5 losses, 2 draws, 0 wins. Ever. So is today the day that finally changes? Does Salah, on his actual birthday, write the most poetic chapter of his career? Or does Belgium's transitional squad, built on aging legends and untested kids, show cracks in their very first game? Stick with me, because this match is far more dangerous than the odds suggest. All right, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. We break down World Cup matches the way they should be broken down. No fluff, just the soccer that actually matters. And today's match? June 16th, 2026. Group G opener. Belgium versus Egypt. Lumen Field, Seattle. Kickoff 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's set the scene properly, because context here is everything. Belgium are ranked 9th in the world. Egypt sit at 29th. On the surface, that's a massive gap. Belgium go into this tournament unbeaten since the start of 2025. Their last 2 warm-up games? A 2-0 win over Croatia and a 5-0 demolition of Tunisia. That's not just winning. That's a team that looks sharp heading into a major tournament. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't the Belgium you remember from 2018. The actual golden generation, the Hazard era, the peak De Bruyne years, that's gone. What Rudi Garcia has built is something different, a hybrid. Veterans like De Bruyne, Courtois, Lukaku, and Witsel mixed with a new wave. Doku, Trossard, Tielemans as captain. Garcia himself called this team underdogs in his ambitions, even while being the clear favorite in this group. And then there's Egypt. Mohamed Salah, 34, turning 35 today, captaining a side that destroyed CAF qualifying. Unbeaten in 10 games, plus 18 goal difference. They didn't scrape through. They dominated. So why does this match matter right now more than almost any other Group G opener? Because both teams need this win for completely different reasons. Belgium needs to prove the post-Golden Generation project is real. Egypt needs to erase decades of World Cup heartbreak. And they might never have a better chance than against a Belgium side in transition. Today, I'm going to cover 3 things. First, Belgium's tactical setup and the weakness hiding inside their strength. Second, why Egypt's defensive shape could turn this into a trap game. And third, my hot take on exactly how this match plays out and what it means for the rest of Group G. Let's get into it. Okay, point number 1, and I want you to really sit with this. Belgium's biggest strength, their attacking depth, might actually be their biggest problem. Here's what I mean. Under Rudi Garcia, Belgium ran a 61.6% possession average through qualifying, nearly 89% pass accuracy. That's elite control. They scored 29 goals in 8 qualifying games and conceded just 7. Then they go and put 5 past Tunisia in their last warm-up. Every signal says this team is firing. But think about who is leading that attack. Kevin De Bruyne, turning 35 this summer. Romelu Lukaku, Belgium's all-time leading scorer with 89 goals, but didn't play a single game until January 2026 because of injury problems. Thibaut Courtois, still world-class, but also part of that aging core. So here's my question. What happens when Belgium plays against a team that doesn't let them dictate tempo for 90 minutes? Because that's exactly the kind of game Egypt is built to produce. Compare it to England at the 2022 World Cup. Remember that? Brilliant on paper, dominant possession stats, and then they ran into Iran in their opener and got dragged into a chaotic, physical, broken-up match. England still won, but it wasn't pretty. It exposed cracks that got bigger later in the tournament. I think Belgium is walking into a similar trap here. Not because Egypt is better, they're not, but because Egypt is going to sit deep, going to make this ugly, and going to dare Belgium's aging spine to break them down for 90 minutes in the heat. And here's where I'll push back on the mainstream take. Everyone's saying, Belgium are sharp, Belgium are unbeaten since 2025, Belgium are minus 170 favorites. This is basically a free 3 points. I don't buy the free part. I think Belgium win this, but I don't think it's comfortable. And if Lukaku, who's still working his way back from a lost season, doesn't start sharp, this could be a frustrating, low-energy first 60 minutes for the Red Devils. Point number 2, and this is the one I think people are sleeping on completely. Egypt's entire World Cup hope is built on one tactical plan: stay compact, frustrate, and let Mohamed Salah punish the gaps. And honestly, that plan has a real chance of working against this Belgium team. Let's talk numbers. Egypt went through CAF qualifying with a plus 18 goal difference. 20 scored, only 2 conceded across 10 matches. Unbeaten. 8 wins, 2 draws. That's not they got lucky. That's a defense that knows exactly what it's doing. Hossam Hassan has built this team in a disciplined 4-3-3, with Salah on the right given total freedom to drift inside and create. Now here's the real question. Salah, even at 34 turning 35, is still putting up elite numbers for Liverpool. He's 2 goals away from Egypt's all-time scoring record, which is currently held by, get this, his own head coach, Hossam Hassan. Imagine that storyline. Imagine Salah breaking that record on his birthday, in his coach's first World Cup as a manager, against Belgium of all teams. And here's the thing most people miss about Salah specifically. He doesn't need possession. He doesn't need his team dominating the game. He needs one moment, one ball over the top, one mistake from an aging Belgian backline that's still figuring out its identity under a new manager. That's it. That's all Salah requires. Compare this to Senegal at the 2022 World Cup, a team that sat in, absorbed pressure, and waited for individual moments from Sadio Mane and Ismaila Sarr to change games. Egypt has that blueprint, except arguably with an even sharper individual weapon in Salah. So here's my slightly controversial opinion on point 2. I don't think Egypt's game plan is park the bus and hope. I think it's a legitimate, well-coached strategy that has a real shot of either snatching a draw or, if Belgium's defense has an off day in their tournament opener, actually stealing all 3 points. 2 massive contrasting forces: Belgium's experienced but aging firepower against Egypt's disciplined structure built around one generational talent on his literal birthday. And we haven't even gotten to point 3 yet, which might be the most important factor in this entire match. Point number 3. And this is the X factor nobody's putting at the center of their preview: Jeremy Doku. Everyone's obsessing over De Bruyne's legacy, Lukaku's redemption arc, and Salah's birthday storyline. Fine, those narratives are real. But the player who could actually decide this match is Doku. Here's why. Egypt's game plan, as we just covered, relies on staying compact and disciplined. A flat back line, narrow shape, daring Belgium to be patient. That kind of defense is incredibly hard to break down with slow, methodical possession soccer. You can pass it sideways for 20 minutes and get nowhere, but it is not built to deal with one-on-one chaos. And that's exactly what Doku creates. Doku isn't a build-up player. He's a runner, a dribbler, the kind of winger who takes a fullback on, beats him, and either crosses it or cuts inside and shoots, all in about 3 seconds. FanDuel even has him listed as a value anytime goal scorer prop for this exact reason. Against a defense that's drilled to stay organized as a unit, an individual who can isolate one defender and just go around him, that's the crack in the armor. Look at how Belgium beat Tunisia 5-0 in their last warm-up. That kind of scoreline doesn't come from patient build-up alone. It comes from chaos moments, transitions, one-on-ones that defenses can't account for. If Egypt's backline gets dragged out of shape just once by a Doku run, Belgium's far more clinical finishers, Lukaku, Trossard, De Bruyne, are waiting to punish it. So my point 3 is this. Forget the De Bruyne versus Salah subplot everyone's pushing. The real tactical battle is Doku versus Egypt's left side. Win that battle, and Belgium's boring possession numbers suddenly turn into goals. Now, my hot take. And I want to be very clear. I'm not hedging on this. I think Belgium win this game 2-1. Not 3-0. Not a comfortable shutout. A 2-1, scrappy, nervy, opening game jitters kind of win, where Egypt actually score, where Salah gets his moment, but where Belgium's extra class in the final third gets them over the line late. Here's my reasoning, fast. Belgium's attacking talent is simply too deep for Egypt to keep out for 90 minutes, especially with Doku creating chaos and Lukaku hungry after a lost season. But Egypt's defensive structure is good enough, and Salah is dangerous enough that I think they get one goal. Maybe a set piece. Maybe a transition moment where Salah does what Salah does. And here's the part that's actually debatable. I think Salah scores on his birthday. I think he gets that goal, ties Hossam Hassan's all-time record live in a World Cup match against Belgium. The crowd goes nuts. Egyptian soccer has its moment. But it's not enough. Because Belgium's bench alone, Trossard, Fernandez Pardo, and informed Tielemans pulling strings, has more quality than Egypt can handle for a full match. Late goal, maybe even stoppage time, settles it. 2-1 Belgium. The over/under is set at 2.5 goals. I'm taking the over, and honestly, I think it's not even close. Now, what does this mean for the rest of Group G? If Belgium win ugly like this, it tells you everything about their tournament. It means they're going to be dangerous but vulnerable. Beatable by anyone who can replicate Egypt's game plan but finish their chances better. Croatia and Mexico, the other two teams in this group, should be taking notes. And if I'm wrong, if Egypt actually get the win or the draw, that's not just a shock result. That's a statement that Belgium's transition project isn't ready for prime time, and Group G suddenly becomes one of the most unpredictable groups in the entire tournament. All right, let's wrap this up. 3 points, 3 sentences. 1. Belgium's attacking depth is real, but their aging spine could make this far less comfortable than the -170 odds suggest. 2. Egypt's disciplined defensive structure isn't desperation soccer. It's a legitimate plan that gives Salah exactly the kind of moments he thrives on. 3. Jeremy Doku, not De Bruyne, not Lukaku, is the guy most likely to break this game open for Belgium. And my final verdict? Even bolder than before. Belgium win 2-1. Salah scores on his 35th birthday and ties Hossam Hassan's all-time Egyptian scoring record live on the pitch. The over hits comfortably, and Belgium walk away with 3 points that feel a lot shakier than the scoreline suggests. A warning sign for the rest of Group G, not a statement of dominance. I'll go further. I think this is the closest favorite wins result of the entire opening round. People will look at the final score, see Belgium 2, Egypt 1, and think it was routine. It wasn't. If you actually watch the 90 minutes, you'll see a Belgian team that needed late-game class to get out of jail against a side that has never won a World Cup match and came agonizingly close to changing that today. Now here's my question for you, and I want a real answer in the comments, not just, "Good video, bro." If Belgium go on to have a shaky group stage, who do you trust more to fix it from the bench? Leandro Trossard coming on for fresh legs in behind the striker? Or Yuri Tielemans dropping deeper to control tempo and protect an aging midfield? Because Garcia is going to need one of these adjustments at some point in this tournament. Which one wins it for Belgium when it matters? Drop your pick below, Trossard or Tielemans. I want to see this debate get messy. And look, if you've made it this far, you clearly care about getting World Cup analysis that actually digs into the soccer, not just headline predictions. That's literally all we do here. Every single group game, every key matchup, broken down before kickoff, so you walk into match day already ahead of the conversation. So if this video helped you understand today's match a little better, hit subscribe. We've got Group G fully covered, match by match, all the way through the group stage. Croatia versus Mexico is coming up next, and trust me, that one's got just as many storylines as this game did. Smash that subscribe button, drop your Trossard or Tielemans take in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.